fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Groot, Cosmo, and Rocket 3-pack from the Epic Hero series for the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now this is a Target exclusive 3-pack, and it retails for $22.99. I just found it today at my local Target, and we get Groot, Cosmo, and this super tiny, adorable baby Rocket. That's really, really cool. Now there is a regular retail release of Groot. That is a single release figure. There is a bunch of single release. There's Star-Lord, there's Drax, there's Mantis, and then Groot. Rocket comes with the ship, and unfortunately there is no Nebula. So I'm really hoping that eventually we get a Nebula and a Gamora as well. Maybe in a Wave 2 or something like that. I don't know how different this is going to be. I'll review Groot later on when I do the rest of the single release figures. And I'll just kind of do a comparison since the figure is kind of exposed here in the packaging. But then when I review them completely, I'll bring him back and do a really direct comparison. But it looks to be pretty much the same. He does have these tree wings here we've seen in the trailer. And also in the trailer, we've seen him like back to back with Star-Lord. And he's got these like roots coming off and he's holding a bunch of different weapons and things like that. So there's an accessory to simulate that here. And then of course, Cosmo. Can't count out Cosmo here. He looks pretty great. I kind of wish he came with like a dome, you know, for the helmet, but it doesn't look like that's included. So this should be pretty fun though. I'm really excited for this. This is the only way to get these two as far as I know. Take a look at the back here. You can see the 3 figures that are included as well as the 4 accessories over here. Groot gear. It's very excited about Groot gear. Which honestly, Groot gear sounds like some kind of promotion where, you know, save points and then you buy like t-shirts with Groot and stuff on it, but not the case. In any case, let's go ahead, let's get these guys out of the box and we'll take a closer look. So here are the 3 figures out of the packaging. We'll start off with the super tiny little baby Rocket. He has no articulation whatsoever. He's just a completely static figure, but he looks adorable. Look at those giant eyes, painted very nicely. He doesn't have a ton of paint applications, a little bit of lighter brown up here and then around the mouth and then some black for the nose. And then you have a little bit of paint here on the tail as well. But he's just a fun, tiny little figure, not really much to him. I don't know if this is like a flashback or if something's going to happen to Rocket and he gets shrunk down at the end of the movie or something. But in any case, this is a pretty cool little dude. We'll put him off to the side. We will take a look at Cosmo next. He looks pretty good. I feel like the spacesuit is a little bit more cream colored than I expected. I thought it would be more white, but not a big deal. He's got some decent paint applications with the red around the collar and then here around the paws. And then he's got like a belt here going around the bottom. The tail can spin. And then all the legs just have kind of a simple spin. There's no ball joint or anything. This one can go all the way around. This one hits about, well, alright, you can get them all the way around. So there you go. You have 4 swivels there, and then the head can swivel side to side. I think the dog head is actually really well done. The texture looks nice. Again, the paint applications look nice. Simple, but I think it works. And there's a fun little Cosmo figure. And then we will take a look at Groot. Move Cosmo off to the side. Now, as far as I can tell, this is the exact same figure from the single pack. Like I said, when I eventually open this up, I'll do a more direct comparison. But it looks pretty similar. The only difference with this one is he comes with a different weapon, which I'm almost convinced is meant to be given to Rocket, since Rocket did not come with a weapon since he came with the ship. And speaking of Rocket, let's do a little comparison here with Rocket and Groot together. This is the Rocket figure that came with the spaceship. And I think they work pretty well. You can even have him kind of ride here maybe somehow on his shoulders. Let's see. Nah. Well, yeah, no, it's not really going to work. Maybe if I bring this up and straighten the legs out. Yeah, you can kind of get something working there. He's not really going to stay all that well, but yeah. Well, we tried. Put Rocket back off to the side over here. So here's our Groot figure. I think the head is very nicely detailed. Again, I think the eyes are really well painted. I think they did a great job with that. Then you have a little bit of green throughout the body. Head can spin side to side. It has a little bit of up and down, but it's very minimal. Mostly just side to side there. You have a hinge for the shoulders, as well as a rotation here. Then you have a hinge and a rotation in the elbow. Forearm and hand are one solid piece, so there's no wrist articulation. Nothing in the waist. Kick pretty far out to the side there. Pretty far forward. Can't really go back because of the butt flap here. And then you have a bend and a rotation in the knee. And you can see that that piece of the knee kind of hangs over top so that that looks a little bit more uniform, which I think works pretty well. And then again, leg is one solid piece, nothing in the ankle or anything like that. But there's a lot of nice molded detail. I think they did a good job with all the bark and everything. I think that works very well. And just overall, it's a pretty great little Groot figure here. Now again, he does come with some accessories. So we have the tree wings. Very simply just plugs into his back. And there you go. Now we have flying Groot with butterfly wings. We also have the Groot gear piece that kind of simulates the branches. So the way this works, you can see that there are 3 pieces right here. You can do it on the front or the back, so whatever you prefer. If you want to connect it to the front, then you could use it with the wings. So you could have these two in conjunction with each other. Or if you want to take these off and you prefer the look of this on the back, you can certainly do that as well. Just flip around to the back here and clip that on there. So whichever way you like. And then he comes with 2 pistols. So we'll take a closer look at these. They're pretty basic. Just done in this kind of silvery gray plastic. But I think they're good. And then basically all we do here is pop them into these little clips like this. This one I think you can actually get it through the trigger. Yeah, it holds a little better if you do it like that. It's a little bit more difficult to get the second one to face forward because it's a little smaller. So if I just kind of put this in like this, it doesn't have as much of the handle of the gun to grab onto. So it's kind of hard to get that one to face forward. Honestly, both of them just kind of face upward. So I get what they were going for, but it's not super successful. I think it's neat that you can put the guns in here. And I like to put this one through the actual trigger like that. So maybe he could have someone like watching the side or watching his back, something like that. If you do put that on the front, then you would want to have these face the opposite direction, and that works a little better. This one works a little better as well. So if you do put it on, I don't think it matters, but I guess the packaging shows this way, and I dropped the gun. So if you have it, I think the packaging shows it on the front, and then that way you can use it in conjunction with the wings. But if you like the look of it on the back better, you can certainly do that. The guns just don't point forward as well, but still totally doable. So I think this is kind of cool. I think this is 2 really neat features here. I guess if you want him to just hold the guns, that's also possible, but they're very small in his hands, so they kind of look ridiculous because they're specifically made for this. But if you just want him to hold them, he certainly can. They just look super dinky and tiny. And again, if we bring Rocket back in, because like I said, he did not get any accessories, you could definitely give these to Rocket. Although his hands are very tiny. But I feel like it's got to be possible. There we go. So you could give one of these smaller pistols to Rocket, Because I feel like Rocket needs some kind of weapon. And that actually works pretty well. Let's see about giving him the other one. Yeah, that works. So, you can definitely... I feel like they're pretty good size for Rocket, honestly. So, I know he likes kind of a more giant gun. But I'll have to check out the gun that comes in the single pack Groot. I feel like, as long as it can fit in Rocket's hand, I feel like I might be giving that to Rocket because he loves him a giant gun. So all in all, I think this is a pretty cool set. It's got a lot of nice features. I think all three of the figures look good. I mean, the tiny little Rocket is obviously just there to be adorable. It doesn't really do anything because it's far too small. But I think Cosmo looks good. He has a decent amount of articulation. Certainly can't hold any weapons or anything. But all four of the legs can spin around. You can spin the tail. You can spin the head. And then Groot, I believe, is exactly the same as the single release figure. But again, when I get to those, I'll do a much more in-depth comparison. Just judging by, you know, the part that I can see from the open box, it looks to be the same. This one just comes with the 2 extra accessories and the 2 guns. So, if you don't really care about the one gun that the single release comes with, you could probably pass on that. Just get this set and then get the other 3 single release Guardians. Or if you're like me and you bought the single one first and then found out this existed, you might have 2. So, hey, why not have a backup, right? But yeah, this is a really cool set. I like this a lot. I like what they're doing with the Epic Heroes series. I'm enjoying the 4-inch figures that Marvel's doing, or I should say Hasbro's doing for Marvel right now. I hope they keep it up. So that's going to do it for this one, but I definitely think it's worth checking out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.